Meat and potato.
Got a lot of body, man. You know what I'm saying?
Meat
Time to
and
eat.
potatoes.
Time to grub.
X-Men, the anime. First, we're going to talk about the anime, then the 97 series, and then like compare them both. But first, we'll start with the anime.
Let's jump into it.
Originally released in April 2011, it was the third Marvel anime series produced by Madhouse. So Marvel wanted to expand their reach in Japan by releasing these fan favorite Marvel movies as animes. Iron Man, then Wolverine, then X-Men, and then last Blade. So I want to just jump into it, bro. What was your guys' experience with this?
I do generally like anime. And I feel like the X-Men anime did have, you know, some quirks, but I feel like it didn't perform as well as it could have. That's just in my personal opinion. I like that they had some familiar voices in there. I mean, if you're watching in English.
Did you watch it in English?
I did.
I wish I had watched it in English.
I feel like it makes it a little better, to be honest with you.
Oh,
Yeah.
you watched it in English?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I watched it in sub.
I did watch it in sub, but they have the same, like the voice of Wolverine
Right.
is the same voice of
As
Wolverine
Wolverine.
in the other stuff.
Yes.
Steve Blum,
Yes.
the guy who does, you know,
countless characters across your various worlds.
yeah, Mugen and Spike and all these different people. So, damn, I do wish I had watched it, but what about you, Kid Lewis? What was your experience with the anime?
So I got a couple of things I want to say.
Good.
I did not like the opening
The song?
song.
Same.
I
No.
wish they would have used the original X-Men opening
The
song.
That's why I did 97, bro. You know what I'm saying? We gonna get into that, though.
Yeah.
That's something that I was a little bummed about. I was like, damn. I feel like it would have killed it if they just had the.
So, when they brought the original X-Men, like the 92 X-Men, over to Japan, they did like its own opening. And let me see. I think I sent it to you.
Oh, so Japan has their own.
Japan has kinda, and it does kind of slap.
But that wasn't the opening song for
No.
this X-Men anime.
Neither.
No, that was the opening that Japan had
Oh.
for the 92nd.
Oh,
Yeah, the X-Men original animated series.
yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, if they had used that'd have been nice. But yeah, that intro was kind of whack. Let me see.
I don't know, but the
Yeah, I didn't know
opening
that
for
either.
this one for the animation,
Right.
it did not slap.
Yeah, I skipped it
It's kinda
every
boring.
time. It was kind of boring. They're kind of just like static and they're just like standing, next to each other.
Yeah,
Just
nah,
like-
I didn't.
Those are stock photos, bro. You know what I mean? Like, you could have done better.
So the while you're looking that up, the other thing that I've noticed, I don't know if you guys noticed, Fred, are you ever seen the show Afro Samurai?
Hell yeah.
Okay, is it me or did the animation look kind of like Afro Samurai?
So the reason for that
Is it because it's the Madhouse?
is the same director.
Right? Okay. I was like, yo, why is this giving me like
Yeah, a little bit.
fucking Afro Samurai Resurrection? Like it's just
Yep.
Bro,
That's the one
like,
too, yeah.
That is, yeah.
when they were like is it the inner circle or
The inner circle, yeah.
they were like all in like looking at the TVs and shit and the way they were drawn out, and even like the robot, the lasers and everything.
Yeah.
I was like, bro, this looks just like Afro Samurai, bro.
Yeah.
I feel like at a moment Afro Samurai was gonna pop out into like a little appearance.
I wish that'd have been super cool.
Afro!
That'd have saved it.
Low key, yeah, it would have for sure.
I thought that was like, bro. So that's why I kind of like the animation.
I feel it.
Because
Check-
it kind
check
of
it
gave
out.
me those vibes. All right,
Bro.
It was kind of dry, bro. Really dry. Even the outro was dry as fuck.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
Yeah.
I'm just not a fan. Like, I did, like, the best parts to me were those fights that were giving me reminiscent of Afro Samurai vibes. But it also wasn't gory enough for me. Like, I get it, but,
I know that's something I saw online is they were talking about how, it's anime. So, or even so I saw it behind the scenes because I got the DVD and I forgot, bro. I fucking love watching those things. They were talking about, it's anime. So we're able to, really emphasize the blood and the gore, and this is the goriest you've ever seen Wolverine. And
Where is it?
To be fair, there with X-Men Evolution and even the 90 or 92 anime and Wolverine and the X-Men, he never cuts anybody. He's always slicing things and kicking people, but he doesn't ever stab anybody.
For those of you who have had a PS2,
Right.
look up the X-Men Wolverine Origins game.
Yeah.
That is the bloodiest Wolverine
PS2, I think
you will
PS3.
ever.
Oh, no, it's PS2.
2?
Yeah, I remember now.
X-Men Origins
yeah,
Wolverine?
that was PS2, bro.
It is the greatest Wolverine to this day. Hopefully the newest one that comes out is going to be better, but...
So besides that, in cartoon form, he's never stabbed anybody. Where he actually did do a couple of stabbings, and he did bleed, and his healing factor came back, and he went berserker mode, where his eyes went away.
Yeah.
So it was kind of bloody, but it wasn't bloody enough for
Right.
Because especially if they know that they're doing an anime, then just lean into it, bro. Fucking
That's what I'm saying, bro.
Yeah,
like I feel like they
so hard
really
on it.
could have. Because the
I
thing
think it
is,
would have
like,
made it better too, man. I don't
Yeah.
know, man. The whole anime story was kind of dry to me, bro. Besides,
'cause-
like you said, it reminding us about Afro Samurai. I really didn't have much else to go with.
That's what I'm
Some
saying.
episodes were boring as fuck.
because imagine
Yes.
with 97, we're gonna jump into 97, but it had more mature content in it, so it didn't necessarily need to be as hack and slash and like gory and all that. It didn't really need it. Well, with like the action in it was already cool enough, but like I feel like the anime didn't pick up enough of where the other areas slacked at. You get what I'm saying?
So for me, the anime, it was kind of whack, but the animation was super, super nice. That was the best part, was watching all the fights
sure.
and everybody. Like it just reminded me that I love anime. And I know we talked about it in the Yu-Gi-Oh episode about, just anime everything. I kind of feel like that, bro. Anime everything.
Sometimes anime everything, bro. Storm,
yeah.
she was fucking fire. Bro. They
Oh.
perfect.
Right. That's what my girl was talking about. She's like, why do they always do that?
Baddie, bro.
Why do they-
You have to. She's a goddess, bro. You
was a
have to get her right
baddie,
every
bro.
time.
Look,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I don't like Storm when she just has the mohawk going on.
No.
And that's not my favorite. But this
Not a fan?
Storm, damn, bro, she was a baddie. I was like, okay, they got Storm right, bro.
So I know you watched it in English and we watched it in Japanese, but the Japanese voice for Storm was so whack, bro. Storm is an African goddess. So
Right.
obviously if she's going to be in Japanese, she's not going to be African. That's fine. But they made her so meek and so like somebody to save. And like every time she used her powers, she got tired. And I'm like, bro, they open it with Phoenix saying, oh, she's an Omega level mutant. She's fucking going Phoenix right now. She's, having a second awakening or whatever. I'm like, bro, did you forget that Storm is
also
an Omega level mutant?
Bro.
They made her so weak. They're like,
I know.
Yeah, they did.
there's like a mountain, and they're like, how are we gonna get over this mountain? I'm like, fucking, did you forget you can fly?
You can bring everybody up there. That's why
They're like, call Professor Xavier so he can bring the X-Jet because we can't go anywhere. Then they never go anywhere. And then by the time he gets there, the show is done. Bro,
The pacing is weird, bro.
Pacing
And I
is
feel
weird.
like majority of the time they were spending it in that
in that room.
living room.
Yeah.
Where they were just sitting there talking about what's going on or what they think might be happening. And
Bro.
I was like, bro, like
It's
and
like
then they
playing
beat
Persona.
Japan, and then they're still trying to figure it out. They're like, okay, we got to go back to Japan again.
Yes,
This
bro.
time, really figure it out.
then there's a scene where the character, the love interest, I forget her name, and I do have it written somewhere, but whatever. She's supposed to be like a adaptation of another character called oh my god, I forget her name too. Whatever McTaggart, like Laura McTaggart.
Oh yes,
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
she's a love interest of Professor Xavier. This whole time, like the back half of the season, she has this secret, and she even tells Professor Xavier like, "Hey, you have a son, but I don't know where he is."
I don't know anything
She
about
doesn't
him.
even say he dies. She says, "Oh, he's no longer with us," or he's
he's no longer with us.
he's around the corner or something. He's out of sight. So he goes, "What? I have a son?" And then he flies all the way over there. Then she tells him, she's like, "That's your son." He's like, "Oh, I have a son?" I'm like, "She told you this 3 episodes ago." And then they're chilling in her house and she's lying to everybody about everything. And Hank McCoy, Beast, one of the smartest mutants, takes him like 2 to 3 episodes to figure out that she's lying.
Oh, and I don't like Beast.
We are also.
You don't like Beast?
I don't like the way the anime. He looked like a straight up dog, bro.
Well, because he is kind of a dog.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't like it.
Yeah, they gave him. So there's this
They gave him,
X-Men.
like, a lot of dog features.
Yeah. Well, so there's
Like-
a comic. I think it's the new X-Men where he does kind of have like these like puffy,
like fangs and
not fangs, but like I don't know. He looks like a dog.
a dog
He looks like a dog,
Like
bro.
a dog face, like a big
Yes.
floppy face.
They did not look like a beast to me at all.
Yeah, he did not have fangs.
No, he did not look like a beast. He literally looked like a smart ass dog.
Yeah, but he was still moving and he was still,
he was still doing his
He was
beast
still
thing.
doing beast
but-
thing.
But still, I didn't like the way he.
didn't like the design?
I didn't like
yeah,
the design.
to be honest, me neither.
There's a scene where Cyclops is riding in the snowmobiles with Wolverine,
Mhm.
and they're fighting these robots, and he keeps shooting the robots with these missiles and lasers on his bike.
Yeah.
Instead of using his fucking.
Instead of using his laser on his face. I'm like watching it. I'm like, bro, get off
This is pissing me off.
I was getting so pissed
I
watching.
told you that's why I didn't watch the whole thing, bro.
You
Like
gotta
it
conserve the anime,
I know, bro.
angered me.
But you gotta push through, bro.
No, that just sucks, bro.
It did suck. And
I
from episode 8 to 9, the quality drops so hard. Like, and imagine I'm binging this because I have to try to do it for the episode. So I'm watching episode after episode, and I'm like, damn, this got really bad. And I only noticed stuff like that because of like, have you seen the Invincible promo where they talk about how, oh, why is it taking so long? And they're like, oh, well, you know, we put our hands in front of our mouths to kind of cut on the animation.
yeah.
Yeah, those take a while, but we cut corners in other places to make it manageable. You ever notice that sometimes whoever's speaking has their mouth off camera so you never see their lips moving?
Huh. I didn't notice that.
As a mutant and a scientist, I'm appalled by what you've done, Doctor. To tamper with the DNA of healthy living beings.
The episode did a lot of that. Everybody was talking like with their back.
Yeah,
And-
bro.
And Beast just like had his hand on his mouth this whole time. And I'm like, it dropped so decent. And that was the best part of the fucking show.
Was the
that
ending? Yeah.
was that it was the anime, is that it was animated like in a very like, you know, flashy kind of way. There's also a scene where Cyclops, Professor Xavier's son is in it at the end. It's like a new son that he has, but it's basically like Legion.
Oh, okay.
So he has all the powers because he's Professor Xavier's son. So everyone's using their powers at him, and then he just gives it back to you because he can bend reality.
Right.
Yeah.
So, you know, you shoot him with some thunder. What is it? Storm tries to electrocute him,
And she
and then
turns it into ice.
and he freezes it. So she's like, you can't freeze electricity. He's like, yes, I can.
I can do what I
Boom.
want.
Yeah.
Whatever I want.
So then Cyclops shoots him. He's the last person to do this too. I'm like, bro, are you not paying attention? He shoots him with his lasers, and then the laser hits him back. And he's like, I should be immune to my lasers. I'm like, no, that's not how it goes. Well, you don't eat lasers, bro.
Oh my god.
And
Telling me.
it was written by a comic artist or a comic book writer, Warren Ellis.
That's even worse.
So he's written for X-Men before. He's also written Iron Man Extremis, however you want to say it, which is really good. My friend was talking shit about it earlier today, but you know, it's decent. It's a decent Iron Man story,
Right.
and that's the inspiration for Iron Man in the movies, like the
Right.
way he looks and the whole thing. And
Oh.
he also written for Moon Knight.
Do you remember the speech that Professor X gave towards the end, where he was telling the whole world,
Right.
let's unite, bro? I was like, this nigga asking for like, put your hands up and give me the
Kinda.
power, kind of
Spirit energy.
Give me your spirit energy. I was like, bro,
it was everything
and that speech had nothing to do with
with most of
what
those
was
people.
going on.
Yeah,
With this is Professor Xavier, by the way, that we're talking about.
always.
That he didn't know he had a son when he could literally read almost anybody's mind. In
Well,
the
no.
whole
So
fucking world.
in
It was
the
explained that
in the anime, he tried like he's using Cerebro to kind of like because he
Go
can
to
see any
Tokyo.
mutants
Right.
anywhere, but there's like a blind spot at her house, and they're like, "Why is that?" So then they go to her house and they're like, "What's going on?" And she's just fucking lying to everybody. And then, you know, by the time he gets there, whatever. But no, at the end, he does give this speech and he talks about mutants and he's like, "Oh, you need to,
we need to
stop,
come united.
yeah, stop hating on mutants or whatever." And
We need
then
to become.
then Iron Man is there, and I'm like,
Yes,
Iron Man
they
is not
did
a
a
cameo.
cameo. They
did a lot of cameos too, yeah.
Towards the end,
Yeah,
I saw
Deadpool was in it.
Yeah, I saw
Yeah.
Deadpool.
Oh, really?
That
That was kind of cool.
Okay.
Then Iron Man came out of nowhere. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I'm like, that's some.
Bro.
They're trying to probably, like pick that shit up. They're just like, they're just.
It's all supposed to be in the same universe. So even though Wolverine has his own anime, it's supposed to be the same Wolverine, even though they look mad different.
Right.
The Wolverine in the Wolverine anime is more of a Hugh Jackman. Like he's tall, he's lean. He is a samurai kind of. While this one is more of the 97 one, or the old one, where he's short, hairy, feral,
more beast-like,
more, just like more animal-like.
More Wolverine than we're used to, more or less.
Yeah, so I did watch the behind the scenes, and the directors were joking about how like he's like, oh, I wanted to do Blade. He's like, oh, well, I wanted to do X-Men. He's like, oh, well, you can do X-Men next season, and they're like, there's not going to be a next season. And I'm like, bro, you guys joking about this, bro?
I don't even want a next season, bro. Like it was okay. I feel like if they're gonna do it again, they really have to tidy it up. Like,
right. Well, especially after 97.
Yeah.
But I remember thinking like, damn, I just love anime, and I would love to do anime. Love to watch them do anime for a lot of my favorite comics. But after this, I was like, you have to take it further. Like just having it anime is not good enough. Oh, we didn't even mention Armor, the anime girl. They missed or was missing or whatever. So it just reminded me, or it pointed out that it's a lot of the anime tropes in all the worst ways. So they go to Japan or whatever. So they're like, oh, let's do a Japanese character, not Jubilee, not Sunfire,
not somebody
which would have been dope. Sunfire, Armor, whatever. She was kind of prominent in some of the stories. I think in the Astonishing X-Men, she's in there, but whatever. But they just make her like a regular ass anime girl. She's supposed to have like this coming of age, like she learns how to use her powers or whatever, but she never gets any agency.
Nope.
She's always just like in the way.
Right. It's just
in the way. And then when she finally gets a hold of her powers, she keeps fucking disobeying. They're like, don't go next to him. She's like, yes, I'm going to go next to him. They're like, stand back. No. And then she just gets her ass beat, and they keep having to save her. And I'm like, oh my God. But
I think it is earlier. They're not irredeemable, but we got these animes that are out now that they might not even want to touch it just because of how good anime is now. But if they're willing to do the work, it could be astonishing in a good way.
Pun intended, or
however you want to take it.
So we have a review on Suicide Squad Isekai that is coming out soon.
That's Astonishing X-Men, by the way.
I know.
No, this is for them.
So I think they might. I think they might go back into anime. Rick and Morty's doing an anime. Mm-hmm. Anime is getting big, so I think they will try to do it. I don't think that they'll be afraid of doing it bad. They fucking made 4, and I haven't seen the other ones, but if
they should be very afraid, actually.
They should be afraid because of the track record. But come on, man, you have Madhouse, an anime studio,
but remember, this
comic book writer
back in 2012.
Well, that's what I'm saying, though. So but that's what I'm saying. Like they have to do it, impeccably.
Yeah, but the MCU was in full swing at this time, bro.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So they had leniency to drop off. You know what I mean? Whereas it's not like that now. The golden age of the MCU is gone. Okay.
Right. I mean, they might be bringing it back, but
I mean, it was Doctor Doom.
With this, there is stuff that I like. Like I said, I like the animation. That was good. I think it is worth checking out up until the 8th episode for the animation alone. But after that, it just drags. It drags. It's 12 episodes, and after the 8th episode, and the 8th episode was kind of whack. It drags. Like once they kill that bug that turns into a human. That's it. That was the last cool thing. Really.
No, it's a lot of talking, bro. Like a lot of talking and not enough
It's not interesting talking either,
it
though.
Is not even
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's just an old way of how they used to do anime.
Yeah.
Like they just can't do anime like that anymore. It's like bare minimum.
Storm was still a baddie.
I didn't like her voice. I didn't like that they made her weak. Every time she used her powers, bro, she was like sweating.
I wanted to say,
oh God. You wanted to what?
I wanted to save her.
She saved you, bro. Even that weak ass version of her.
Bro.
It's all right, man.
So it did open up with action. It opened up like
it did.
Them fighting.
That's the craziest bit.
Phoenix.
So yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying, bro. Like for it to start off nice and just
it dropped off so decent. And then speaking of something that did the opposite for me was X-Men 97.
Let's go into it.
Let's go into it. So I remember telling you in the beginning, I was like, bro, I just saw half of the first episode. I don't want to watch this. This is so whack. They fucking murdering my X-Men.
Oh my God. I hate this.
I
It
hate it.
sucks.
And imagine I had just started the anime, and the anime, like I said, in the beginning it was kind of nice, and then it just goes downhill. So I'm like, I don't want to watch this, bro. Let's just do the anime. Like, but then I wanted an excuse to watch it, so Lewis convinced me to push through and watch it. He was like,
I
"Come on,
convinced him
man!"
to push through, and then like midway, I was like, "Bro, I don't want to do 97. Can we just do
Right?
the anime?"
Yeah, I'm like, "No,
we'll
bro,
do a 97 another time." He's like, "Nah, bro.
let's do it." I was already happy.
I'm already in.
I'm already in."
So, with the original going from 92 to 97, X-Men 97 picks up like right at the end. You can
Exactly
kinda-
where it left
You can
off.
kind of fucking just watch it right up until. So it's been in development since June of 2019, and it was announced in November of 2021. So to me, the first episode was so fucking cringe. The best part of that episode was the end, when it ended, but then also when they announced that Magneto was inheriting the X-Men.
It's a
So I was like-
setup. You know what I'm saying? It's
okay.
setting up.
Okay, all right. But
Think about the first episode of, I don't know,
The Sopranos?
Sure, you know what? That Demon Slayer.
anything, most
Anything.
most things.
Right.
I don't know, like just the animation was so weird, and I know they were trying to bring it back to the 90s,
Yeah.
but it was just so, like this. And then even with there's like a scene or whatever, and it might not even be in the first episode, where Gambit is on the back of Wolverine and
Oh,
he
yeah.
supercharges his claws.
Oh yeah.
That shit was kind of whack, bro.
I mean, that's you though. You don't like. I personally like this cell shade
No,
art
I like-
style and shit like that.
No, I like that. Like what Sunspot, like all his powers had, like that
Yeah.
kind of like, the way it looked wasn't too bad. I'm saying like the idea of him charging his fucking adamantium claws and riding his back like he's a fucking horse.
I mean, okay, I guess.
I don't know. I was being very critical of it because I do love the
Yeah, but look at the anime, bro.
I know. So I forgave it. This is like some sort of revelation. And every time we do these podcast episodes, I always have like some sort of like revelation that I learned about myself or whatever. Maybe to not be so critical because I gave it the anime a pass and it let me down. And I was very critical of the cartoon, and then it,
exceeded expectations.
my expectations.
This is continuity, people. Okay.
Right. So I know I kind of just jumped into it, but what was your guys' experience with it?
Don't judge a book by its cover, man. You gotta give it a chance.
Or just let yourself, go and enjoy, the ride that you're going on.
Right.
Because as soon as I saw that, I was like, "That's dumb. This show's dumb." Without even giving it like like a couple
I
episodes.
liked it, bro.
Fair,
So,
fair.
97.
being in all honesty,
Tell
I
me.
didn't get a chance to watch it all the way through, but I did get all the way to episode 5. I know it's like, 10 episodes? Or
10 episodes, 10 30-minute episodes, and I was
10
like,
episodes.
usually like at least with anime and some shows, it's like 22, 23,
Yeah.
maybe 25 episodes.
Right.
These are 30-minute episodes.
They're worth the 30 minutes, though, bro.
No, but I'm saying like only 10. I'm like 10 episodes, but nah, they're pretty nice.
No, it's pretty nice. I liked it, bro. I liked it. And I'm a big fan of Magneto. I like his design. He looked like an OG with that long hair.
Magneto was always my like.
Your favorite?
I mean, I guess not necessarily my favorite, but he was definitely like my top 5 out of all.
Top 5?
Yeah.
Top 5, top 3, man.
Between Magneto and Doctor Doom, those are my two favorite villains in Marvel.
Really?
Doctor Doom, Magneto, they go back and forth.
Mm.
For the same reason, like when we talked about the villain episode, I sympathize with Magneto more than I do Doctor Doom. But because Doctor Doom is just so evil, I love him. Like you don't have to like.
You don't have to,
forgive him.
yeah, right.
You don't have to sympathize with him.
Like you just know he's a shit stain, and that's just what it's all about, man.
That's
You
it.
know
He's
what I
the
mean?
best. He's Doom. Everybody's beneath Doom.
He's doomed.
While Magneto is a survivor of the Holocaust, and he's like like just trying to do right by mutants in a Malcolm X kind of way.
I was literally just about to say the Malcolm X of the
Right.
Marvel universe.
So yeah, no, I love the designs. I didn't like it at first, but then it just gets so much better. Like things get way more fluid.
I love X-Men 97.
Yeah,
And I know that I might be a little biased because, I'm an old bastard.
right.
I know who my father is, though. It's just, and I did watch the original series,
Yeah,
and I did love it, but just because of how nice it was overall. Nostalgia wise, obviously, as soon as you hear that intro, you know it hits you, and that's dope as fuck.
So I didn't dislike the intro. It was just kind of like a carbon copy of the other one.
Yeah.
I think there was a little bit too much noodling with it, though. It's like they played it and then they just like jazzed over it, you know?
That's what it was supposed to be, bro.
Yeah, but
it's literally a now time continuation of that. Like,
so I was trying to binge it for this episode, but I kept skipping it, bro.
That's fine.
I skipped it.
It's the intro.
I skipped it I watched it once in the beginning and I skipped it every single time.
That's fine.
I watched it once, but it wasn't something I just wanted on repeat.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like once you get that hit, you know what I mean? Like you don't need to watch it over and over again.
Well, watching the original, because I did watch a few of the episodes for the original. I fucking never skipped it, bro.
I mean, yeah, but is that nostalgia or is it because it was so much better than the one now? If you really sit down and think
there was just so much going on with it, with the new one. Like I was trying to enjoy it, but then they kept like trying to do their own thing, and I'm like, okay, well then just do your own thing. And then, you know, once I got all the way to the end, so you know, spoilers or whatever. And I should have said at the top, we're spoiling both of these animes.
Duh.
I don't know. They had a lot of stuff in the intro that didn't have to do with the show anymore. Like they switched Jubilee for Sunspot because he was kind of like the Jubilee character of this new cartoon.
And
that was fine. But then like they had Sabretooth and Mystique. And I'm like, they're not even in the show, you know? But only because they were in the original intro, then they left them in there.
Yeah.
So
that low-key was kind of like my only downside to the whole thing.
I know the angle is that, hey, you love the original. This is a continuation. And it is. And it was nice. But I think, especially now with them going into season 2, I think they are going to kind of like embrace the fact that it is different. But I think they should have fucking from the beginning kind of embraced.
So what do you think
episode 1 was just so safe.
Well, yeah, bro, because it's first of all, we're talking about Disney, and second of all, it's episode 1.
I know. But
the very next episode amps up.
It does.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like you gotta give it grace. Like, I mean, bro. Well, we already said we're spoiling it. Magneto took these people to like outer space.
Asteroid M.
You know what I mean? So it's
they do that in
not even that during the trial.
Oh,
during the trial.
Damn, you remember that?
Bro, so it's like...
He's like, look at the world. I can fucking drop you right now.
Easily. And feel nothing.
He was like, y'all like bugs. Like, he was literally standing on top of the dude, like, inches away from his foot. He's like, I can just step on you.
That's part of why I like it so much, bro, because it's just so, like... It's just so like humanizing of mutants the way it always has been, and it tells a very polarizing story. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's action in it, like when
there's action all throughout.
I know, bro. Like especially the damn assault.
I didn't think they were gonna go as hard as they did, bro. With that episode,
bro,
when they fucking killed everybody.
Yes, and terrifying, bro. When Magneto's holding the damn barrier.
I know, it's so heartwarming, bro.
Oh my god! And then just to have it, just like warm wet poop on your heart. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's so unfortunate.
I'm gonna have to watch it all the way through. Man.
You should, man. I recommend it. So speaking of Disney, like they even had scenes where like Wolverine was stabbing people.
Yes.
Like, he fucking stabs Magneto.
Yes.
Like, for real.
I was hoping, I mean, obviously it was like really, because they don't get that visceral, but I was hoping he was going to do more than just, like bang him around. I was hoping he was going to take, you know what I mean? Like,
so to flip it also, most people know, I fucking love the X-Men, bro. I love them more than the Avengers. I was talking to my girl about it. I was like, damn, do I love the X-Men more than Spider-Man?
You might, bro.
I think
it's a toss-up for sure. Because they're both there. At least for me, they're both up there. I would pick Spider-Man a little more just because of Venom. Like for you, Doctor Doom and Magneto.
Right.
My number one villain was like an anti-hero is Venom.
Yeah. Yeah, I know you're a Venom guy.
Absolutely love fucking Venom, bro.
I had a question though.
Yeah.
About the whole Rogue and Magneto thing. Was that a thing?
Yeah. So
Gambit was right to
So all of these characters have like a love triangle kind of element. So even in the original, the 92 cartoon, like Jean, Wolverine, and
Cyclops.
Yeah, that's a thing.
Yeah.
They kind of pass partners a lot of the times. Like, Forge and Storm had a thing, while in the comics, it does happen or whatever, but then she's typically are married to the Black Panther.
Right.
So, it's like that. Like, so, and that's the thing that I liked about the show is that it is very like dramatic and almost like a soap opera.
Yeah,
like,
bro.
People fall in love and they, there's a clone and that baby, like that clone has a baby and then
it's this man, I forgot his name already.
Cable.
Cable, yeah. And I was just like, what the hell?
Yeah.
That was lit. See, that was lit, bro. It's so good, bro.
So it is good for people who are familiar with the comics because I knew all of it going in, but it's still rewarding. And I don't know if you've seen the Marvel Earth's Mightiest Heroes show.
I feel like I might have.
So that is, I think, a really good representation of stories from the comics just distilled into these 30-minute episodes, sometimes 2-parters, sometimes 3-parters.
Right.
There's like 3 episodes that has to do with Kang the Conqueror, and they fucking hit that shit on the head.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I definitely recommend, if you like this show, 97, watch Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes, because they did the same thing. And, they had a whole Phoenix saga. Genosha does fucking get exploded every now and then. There's just so much from the comics, bro, and I fucking loved it. And it did it nice. So I'm kind of glad that I watched it. I'm glad that they made it. I'm looking forward to season 2.
Hopefully it keeps the same energy because about
they fired the director. So yeah, so I don't have his name here and I wanted to write it. I kind of didn't want to bring it up, but you brought it up, bro.
I had to do it, bro.
So he posted on X/Twitter a picture, I think, of him and gay Cyclops, and I'm paraphrasing, and I I just read the article. So he basically saying, "Hey, I'm gay." It's for Pride Month as well. And then the very next day, they fucking fired him.
Oh, that's super crazy.
Yeah,
especially in today's time. That's
for that
wild
for that post.
So they didn't say that was the reason why, but ABC. Like, I don't know. I do kind of hope that they keep the same momentum and rhythm. I don't know if it was him. I mean, he's the director, but
right.
Usually when you change a director, the feel goes away.
Yes, exactly.
Even if you have like a direct sequel, like, hey, just do it like this.
I'm really hoping so, bro, because it left off in a pretty good space. So,
right. So I have some stuff about season 2. So it is confirmed that they are going to be donning the Grant Morrison suits, where they all have like the X. They're all wearing the same big vest.
Love it.
And towards the end of the episode, or towards the end of the series, they do switch into their even older, because they start in the 90s or whatever. So at the end, they switch over to their 60s costumes, where like Jean Grey looks like Marvel Girl. Yeah, she's
with
got
the green and the yellow.
Yeah, and then Cyclops has like where his whole head is a blue. He looks like a blue sock.
Yeah, this man's orange and yellow and brown. Or is that
it's blue and yellow?
Okay, still blue and yellow.
Wolverine puts on his brown suit.
Well, that's what I was talking about.
Yeah. So everybody looks all retro. So, but they're gonna be doing a lot of different stuff from the comics. They are going to touch on Age of Apocalypse because they ended it,
in Egypt.
In Egypt, half of them in Egypt, half of them in the future.
Right.
They are going to be doing the Days of Future Past because they're in the future or whatever. There's even like a sign in the back, and I don't want to do like a cameo Easter egg kind of thing because I just loved it. I was just like, I love that I see all this.
Right.
There's like a scene or whatever. I'll do a little bit. There was a scene where
I don't want to do this.
I'll do a little bit.
I was geeking out, bro. I was fucking geeking out watching this shit. There's a scene or whatever in the first X-Men. Wolverine puts on the black leather costume and they're like, wow, you guys go out like this?
You actually go outside in these things? What would you prefer? Yellow spandex?
And then Cyclops is like, what do you want? Yellow spandex? So kind of like making fun of the comics, saying, hey, this is a serious movie. We're not doing comic book shit. We're not going back there. So then he gets new costumes or whatever in the cartoon, and he's like, what is this? He's like, what did you expect? Black spandex, black leather?
Black leather?
Fucking making fun of the movie. So I was just like, damn, it's like certain things like that. So
beautiful, bro.
So speaking of the Disney thing, Magneto pulls all the adamantium out of Wolverine.
His body.
That happens in the comics. Yes. And that shit is so like, oh my God, I can't imagine it. Like Wolverine's a thug, bro. This nigga's like
he's great. I mean, he's been living for hundreds of years. So I mean,
Yeah. He always gets back up. Like
that's crazy.
So they are going to introduce Lady Deathstrike and Sabretooth. So they were kind of absent from this. So I think they're kind of also going to do like the Weapon X kind of.
Well, that's what I was going to say too, because
we might even get Deadpool
in the show. Kurt Nightcrawler talks about Mystique.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He talks about it. So yeah, and he's like, I feel like them being in the intro might have been foreshadowing, and hopefully they
making excuses, bro.
Hopefully they, they get in on that, because if they don't,
because the big bad of this was Bastion, so it was kind of bigger than this whole Brotherhood of Mutants, Toad, and all these things like that. I think was Juggernaut in there. I think I saw him.
Not in this run.
I think so. I think I saw him somewhere. And Morph, he jumps into a bunch of different people.
Right.
He's like, the Hulk 1 minute, and then he's Mr. Fantastic, and so that was kind of cool. They do have cameos from like Spider-Man, Captain America, Iron Man, Daredevil's in it. There's so many Marvel characters, and I was like, wow, I just fucking love seeing it. Like the X-Men have so many characters already off rip, but just seeing them even add more characters, like just because they're heroes, of the story doesn't mean Captain America gets along with them, off rip.
Yeah.
Black Panther's just looking out for his country. He's not a mutant. Right. He doesn't have any mutants. So that's like a y'all problem, and that's kind of like a theme through the story.
Yeah.
And then they are going to touch on this, the Danger storyline. So I love that they even like went to space with the Shi'ar. I was like, wow.
That's where he's been, bro.
That's so awesome.
That's where he's been. Everybody thought he died. He ain't died, bro.
Yeah.
That's where he's been this whole time.
So in space or whatever, he gets like some sort of technology and he brings it back to the X Mansion. And that's the AI that is the Danger Room.
Oh, really?
And then in one of the comics, I think it's the Astonishing X-Men, that Danger Room comes to life and fucking tries to kill the X-Men.
Yes,
Professor Xavier took me, and because it's like a robot mutant.
Right.
And I'm going to do a little bit of some recommendations if you are wanting to read X-Men. There's a recent House of X comic book storyline written by Jonathan Hickman. He is one of the writers. He used to write for like Fantastic Four. He wrote like some really good Fantastic Four. And it kind of has a lot of the stuff that you see in this show. Master molds and Sentinels and going back and forth through time and just everything. And the kind of dream that they all have, like, a mutant, like a Genosha.
Right.
They have this thing. Oh my God, I'm drawing a blank on the name. Krakoa.
Oh, yes. The
Krakoa shit.
Krakoa, yeah.
So he does all that stuff. So he kind of wrote that for it. Krakoa existed before it was a person, like a big mutant mountain guy, whatever. And then now it's a island, like a safe haven.
Right.
But, oh my God, it's just so dope.
They touch on House of M too, so you probably...
Oh, they might do that. Well, because they have Scarlet Witch in there, and they're like, oh, she's off-world.
Right.
So there's just so much that they can do. So I do want them to make, like, 100 seasons of this shit, bro.
As long as they're good and have the same feeling, man. New producer. I don't know if you're gonna watch this, but don't fuck this up, please. Okay?
They're not gonna.
We are enjoying this.
We are, yeah. And
as a unit, as a collective, as a family.
I was reluctant. I was like, damn, here's another cash grab. Here's them trying to fucking pimp my childhood out to me, And they did it nice.
Yeah, so reluctant after the first episode, man.
You remember? I was like, I don't want to watch this.
I don't want to watch this, man.
And it just only gets better, bro.
It does.
Like, I feel like, by the time the whole Magneto thing happens, like, it already starts amping up from there, but it just doesn't really stop after that. I mean, the only thing with, like, Jubilee getting Sunspot getting put in the game, that's probably like it.
I was going to ask you, how do you feel about that episode?
That was kind of cool, but I mean, it wasn't really...
That's when it kind of was like, okay, I'm watching this show.
Right.
I thought it was going to be kind of like that, like episode of the week type of deal. Like, they were going to fight this person, they're going to fight that person, but...
It was, yeah. And I'll give it to it. It's nice because it adds variety, like back in the days. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's kind of lit.
I thought they were going to do... Because they fight Magneto in the video game, and in the real video game or whatever... When you get to him, he goes, "I am Magneto. Welcome to die." So I thought he was going to say that, but he never says it.
It's not the same because there's it's the whoever the hell that was. I forgot the name already, but he made it. Yeah, he made it. So.
Yeah. So speaking of also, so the animators said that they were heavily inspired by Marvel versus Capcom for the action scenes.
That makes sense.
So a lot of the action was really nice.
Because it goes so hard, bro.
Yeah, and I've always liked Cyclops, and I know he kind of is like, you know, in the fucking live action movies, and he's a Boy Scout, and he's lame.
He always was, bro. But I mean, he got leadership potential, bro. Like, he just got to live inside his potential.
There's like scenes where he's fighting and he's using his optic blast to like move around. He uses it to
they niced him, bro. Like when he's falling out the jet.
Yeah.
And he finally uses his fucking thing to, bro. See, they niced him, bro.
They niced everybody. Everybody got their time to shine, even with like Gambit. And it was kind of spoiled for me that Gambit dies, and which, you know, and I had already said I wasn't gonna watch this. And then I watched it, and I fucking forgot that he died. And then he died.
Yeah, bro. He died, bro.
And I was like, well, I know. I thought they were gonna like jump.
No.
Cable's gonna come any moment to tell us that he's not really dead.
He's gone, bro.
He's dead, bro.
he's gone, bro.
Yeah, that shit was super, super nice.
R.I.P. Gambit.
R.I.P. Gambit, bro.
And then the whole thing with Rogue, you know what I'm saying? And let this be a lesson to you. Pick one, okay?
Pick one, what? Partner?
Yes. Because she was too busy fucking around on both sides and she lost them both.
I know, but they had an agreement that they were like, you know, like we can't be together. Like, you know, Gambit wasn't trying to settle down either.
Just for them to realize it in the end, and it was too late.
I know.
You know what I'm saying?
I know. What a good story.
Oh, Romeo and Juliet.
They can't kiss, bro. They can't kiss.
They can't, bro. But you know what I mean?
Rogue in every story just wants to kiss a boy.
She can't because he'll die.
In the movies, in the X-Men, the live action movies, she's like, take away my powers. I need to kiss a boy. I will give away my mutant powers. And they even said, like, you know, when Gambit dies, she goes on a fucking massacre rampage.
A damn succubus rampage.
And General Ross is like, we're in a facility that is designed to keep the Hulk out. And
bust right through that shit.
Bust right through it. I'm like, damn.
Bust right through that shit. No care about anything.
Nothing.
She's fighting the tanks, bro. She's going all out, bro.
Yeah. Well, she gets her powers from Captain Marvel or Miss Marvel. Right. So, you know, I guess she's that strong as well.
Even stronger, really, technically. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So speaking of video games, or speaking of Marvel vs. Capcom, Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection Arcade Classics is coming out later this year. That's a game that we're going to be on top of. It's set to release. They don't have a release date technically, but it is just said in the trailer, at least 2024. So, have you played any of the Marvel vs. Capcom games? Or
I have in the past.
How do you feel about
recently? I like the variety of characters that you get.
What about you, Captain?
Well, you can attest to this. My favorite is Marvel vs. Capcom 2, but we spent a lot of time on that good UMBC, boy.
We did.
Running it.
Yeah, that's a game that I'm fucking crazy good at. So yeah, it's coming back. That is a game that we're going to kind of be on top of. And it did start off with the original was X-Men versus Street Fighter.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I remember.
You remember that, right?
What was that? It was something else. It was
they have like SNK versus Capcom, and they have They have a lot of those. But like this string of games started with X-Men versus Street Fighter, then Marvel versus Capcom, then Marvel versus Capcom 2, and then on and so forth. I'm looking forward to that for sure. But that's like the first blend of anime or like Japanese versus the Americans.
Yeah.
So a question I wanted to ask you guys is, are there any comics that you would like to see them turned into anime?
Like comics? Like
comic book characters like, Spider-Man anime, The Guardians anime, anything that points out to you or sticks out? Kid Lewis?
Probably The Guardians would probably be nice.
Guardians of the Galaxy? Yeah.
As an anime, I think that would be pretty dope.
I'm trying to think of... I feel like something that could be nicely translated, but also dark enough to go hard with like an anime. I feel like if Blade wasn't already one, I would choose Blade, but I don't know how they did with that.
So I do want to do episodes like when Blade comes back, if it ever comes back. You saw Deadpool and Wolverine?
No, not yet.
So if Blade ever comes back, I kind of want to do an episode with the Blade anime and maybe there's whatever.
Well, because they still have the Marshall Ali Blade, ain't it?
It keeps getting delayed. It's like a joke that they keep delaying it. and it's so far along, or so far like in the future or whatever, like in the plans of the MCU, that they keep changing writers and nobody can agree on the story or the tone. And it's supposed to be gritty, and I think it's supposed to be R-rated. I think
it's always supposed to be, bro.
I think, but you know how it is, bro. They want them to do it like broad appeal.
They want it to be Disney.
They want it to be Disney,
bro. No, it's Blade.
Blade
God
has
damn
never
it, man.
been Disney, bro.
So if they bring that back, bro, if they actually do it, then we will do like a Blade episode, and we will watch the Blade anime. But maybe something with like anime already in it, you know?
No, maybe. I mean, I'm trying to think. I guess actually, now that I think about it, I'm playing Midnight Suns right now, so that might actually be a pretty fire anime if they did it right.
Okay, like what is it? Is it Doctor Strange?
Doctor Strange, Magic, the new one of the Ghost Riders, like the newest Ghost Rider.
Yeah, that would be kind of dope. Damn,
right.
Suns.
Yeah.
I think with the Isekai, the Suicide Squad approach, I think if it's low stakes, then you can kind of do more with it, because nobody really cares or knows about the Suicide Squad. So you can take all these liberties and put Clayface on the team and whatever. Who cares?
Right.
Versus with X-Men, Wolverine has to be like this.
Exactly.
Storm has to be like this.
So yeah, I think Midnight Suns would be pretty lit. You know what I'm saying? And then you could just play with it however you want. Because I feel like it's not as far reaching as the X-Men or the Avengers. Or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're on the lower rung of the squads.
But then they can make it nice.
Right.
So, and then movies. So, there's no anime movies, but the anime series definitely has some inspiration from the live action movie, because there's just a lot of stuff in it that kind of directly translates from the movies. Mm-hmm. That's pretty much it, bro. Anything else to add about the X-Men anime, the 97?
No.
Watch 97, man.
I think 97 is worth to watch. And the anime, if you have time.
It's worth checking out if you can get it. I would say just watch up to episode 8 and maybe watch all the cameos.
And it was hard to find. So for the anime, it was a little bit harder to find.
That's true.
You had to physically buy the disc.
And I'm kind of glad I did, because it does come with a lot of back behind the scenes stuff, and it comes with 3 other animes.
Well, yeah, I'll say that's probably
because you could buy it on Google digitally for $35 or for $15, and you get
all the movies,
all of them, and the behind the scenes stuff. I love watching those behind the scenes things.
What is it, like storyboards and
everything? They give you everything. They fucking walk through the office. They're like, "This is where we made it." And I'm like, that's so cool.
Fucking nerd.
Yeah, I love it, bro. I fucking loved it. All right, so let's go ahead and get on to the last segment of the show, bro.
The meat and potato. Wait, no. What we reading, what we watching, what we playing.
We ate already,
too, bro. Are you still hungry?
I'm about to say, are you not full?
Are you not full, bro?
No. What we reading, what we watching, what we playing. So we're gonna start out with Fred. Fred,
Captain
what you reading?
Kilimanjaro.
What you watching? What you playing?